For decades, the artistic community, especially those aligned with major entertainment brands, has projected an aura of ethical and creative superiority. Artists were not just craftsmen. They were the conscience of culture, the defenders of originality, the first to protest theft, and the last to tolerate imitation. But the illusion has fractured. In the harsh light of the AI era, a mirror has cracked, and the reflection it reveals is not flattering. A recent scandal involving Bungie's art team has brought this hypocrisy into sharp relief. Reports surfaced that assets were allegedly stolen from an independent creator, an accusation that, if true, is damning not just for one team, but for an entire profession that has spent the past 2 years waging moral war against AI-generated imagery. The irony is acidic. Those most vocal about AI theft have been caught committing the very sin they claim to loathe. And this is not an isolated incident. Anyone who has spent time within the art world, whether indie, corporate, or fan-based, knows the truth that polite society avoids. Tracing is common. Pose reference packs, line-by-line emulation, and layer-by-layer repainting are part of the toolkit. Style mimicry isn't rare, it's expected. Tutorials are absorbed, repackaged, and resold. Apprenticeship in the digital age is as much about consumption and imitation as it is about discovery. The creative process, as it exists in most professional circles, has long depended on techniques that, by the standards being applied to AI, would themselves be labeled theft. So why the panic? Why the fury? Why the sudden moral clarity? Because AI is not a peer. It is not a studio rival, a fellow freelancer, or a competing social media account. AI is a force multiplier. It enables those without formal training, or without years of social gatekeeping, to produce stunning visuals in seconds. It threatens not just jobs, but identity. For many, being an artist was never simply about making art. It was about being part of an ordained class, a priesthood of culture, with all the associated privileges, applause, protection, and the presumption of purity. That is now in jeopardy. The democratization of tools has always provoked outrage from the traditionalist elite. Photography was not real art. Then digital art was not real art. Then 3D modeling. Now it is AI. Each wave is greeted with accusations of cheating, devaluation, or theft. And each wave reveals more about the insecurity of those already inside the gate than it does about the tool itself. AI-generated art is improving. That fact is indisputable. Its early flaws, six-fingered hands, awkward lighting, surreal deformities, are fading fast. And with every update, the opposition becomes louder, more shrill, and more performative. Their concern is no longer credibility, it's control. If someone with no formal training can create a breathtaking image in minutes, what does that say about the years spent in academia, the gatekeeping, the culture of exclusivity that governed artistic legitimacy for so long? It says the curtain is lifting. And behind it, we see that many of the same people who call AI art theft have built their own careers on techniques indistinguishable from appropriation. They call for ethical standards not because they live by them, but because they fear what happens when they can no longer dictate who gets to create. The mirror has cracked. What we see now is not a holy caste of creators under siege, but a frightened and self-protective guild panicking at the loss of its monopoly. And if the public is increasingly skeptical of their cries, it's not because the public doesn't value art. It's because they can smell hypocrisy a mile away.